Y'all, I don't even know. This season of American Horror Story is going to be triggering. It's going to be pushing buttons. Ooh, I, it's, I don't have words, so let's just talk.
What's going on YouTube?
Jamar,
What's going on YouTube?
Washington,
This is Jamar for here once again.
Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Jamar the here once again. And, oh, you know what? I wish I could have. Damn, this battery on this laptop sucks. Hold on. And you know what? I'm leaving all this in. I'm not even editing it out as I get my charger. We're here to talk about. Hold on, because I don't want this thing to die.
Low battery.
I know it's low battery. I know. Hold on.
Excuse me. Low battery.
I heard you the first time. Oh. I swear, everything around here, battery is just terrible. Are you good now? Thank you. I'm surprised you just jumped from like 54% to 11%, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we're here to talk about not Love and Hip Hop, I did that already. I'm just so used to it. We're here to talk about American Horror Story, Cult, this is season 7, but American Horror Story Cult Episode 2, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. That was such a perfect title. That was such a clever title. Whoever thought of that. I appreciate that. This episode, or this season thus far, is barely even, like, fictional. This season is, like, so realistic. And I feel like it's a semi-reality show. Because usually American Horror Story, has plays with a lot of, fictional aspects and, just whimsical things and just kind of puts a horror twist on it. This season is a testament on how this current climate or the way that America is right now is a true life American Horror Story. It's so, I love this show. And this episode was good. So, this is going to be interesting to try to break all this down, but we're going to try. Allie wakes up next to a clown. We just go ahead and kick the thing off jumping. Because she's a little bit cray-cray. We still haven't figured out why she's cray-cray the way she is yet. Hopefully that gets explained later on. But, of course, she's screaming. She screams for her wife, Ivy. Ivy's like, okay, well, let's grab the knife. Stay behind me. She goes in the room, looks all over, opens the closet, goes under the bed, looks everywhere for this alleged clown. And there's no clown. Again, for the umpteenth time. And she's just like, look, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be dealing with this nonsense. Because you seeing shit and you waking me up. You causing all this commotion. You making my blood pressure go up. Like, I need to, check myself all the time. I ain't got time. Okay? I'm going to need you to get your shit together. And so while they, while she's trying to calm her down and trying to secretly get in her pants, because they started, doing the do afterwards. So we see a scene of Twisty the clown is up in the kids' room messing with his nightlight. And then he turns it back on and then sees Twisty, runs, and then sees the other, four-faced clown. This is my representation of four faces. Sees the other clown running after him, and he runs into the bathroom and tries to hide the bathtub, and they break in glass and do all this other stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. How are they doing all of this? And the mom's up there, are they banging and scissoring so hard that they can't hear glass break in their own house? I'm just saying. So after that, when they trying to, they break into the room, and they open the door or they look back behind the shower curtain where the boy was hiding. We just hear them getting it on, and then they screaming "mom," and then they break away and run down and find him still in his bed having a night terror. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he's just having a nightmare or a night terror. I'm not sure what the difference is. If there are psych people out there who can tell me what the difference between a night terror and a nightmare is, if there is one, let me know. But he's having a nightmare. He's sweating, so he wakes up and he's talking about how the clown's trying to get him. The clown's trying to get him, child. I'm just like, oh Lord. It's not, the son secretly is a little crazy too. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Now we get to probably one of the most frustrating parts of the show, where we knew last week. Oh, this is what I was going to say before my. I'm gonna hold that thought. This is what I was going to say before the power went out. I wanted to shout out the subscriber and the commenter who gave me the working link to find this episode. I think it's like 1, 2, 3 movies or something like that. They put it in the comments of the last video. Shout out to you because your link is the only one that worked so far. But anyway, yeah. I knew last week that when this man provoked those Mexicans to attack him, and then there was somebody recording, I knew they were going to warp that. They were going to cut off the front part where he threw a condom of piss at them and antagonize them, and just going to cut it to where you just see a group of Mexican men jumping this man. That, my friends, is media manipulation. And now it makes it, given, of course, you know, what Trump said about, you know, building a wall and how the Mexicans are dangerous and all this other bull. Like, they're going to believe, and what's crazy is that this is actually, like, some stuff that may have, or it probably did actually happen last year, right after 45 got up in there. This is not even like a horror fiction. This is real shit. Jesus. Okay. He's on the news and they're portraying this must be Fox. They're portraying this like, oh, these angry Mexicans beat up this innocent man for no reason. I'm like, oh, that made me so mad because I'm like, this is probably what happens in real life, and not just to Mexican, but to us too. Like, they will sit there, and because we have this stereotype of being dangerous and criminal, that if we're seen attacking or retaliating against somebody of not our race, then it's viewed and skewed a completely different way that is so false. My blood pressure when I watched that scene, I'm telling you, that was bad. I couldn't deal. And when we go on to, he's making all this news press about how I was an innocent man, I was attacked, I want to run for a seat on the city council or some bull. I'm like, oh no, this is disgusting. I can't. Like, I've loved Evan Peters' roles in all of the American Horror Stories thus far, and my God, do I hate you this season. It's only episode 2. God, you are the worst kind of person, and that means that he's an amazing actor because he is playing this role. Whew. And what makes it worse is that this is in my home state. This is in Michigan. This is why I can't mess with them no more. This has been the nail in the coffin. I said it. I can't do Michigan no more. Oh, and then Michigan went red for Don. I can't. I am unable. Oh my God. Michigan went for Donald Trump last year. How? We've been blue for as long as I've been alive. I swear. But neither here nor there. The babysitter pulls this pinky to pinky nonsense with the kid, asking Oz, the little boy, about the house along the street and how he's scared and stuff. I'm like, what is this Pinky? I'm like, what are you doing? Is this really just some made up stuff, or is she like looking into his soul or some shit? Like, I'm trying to figure out what she doing because she look a little creepy. I just whenever Winter's on the screen, I just feel uneasy because I just don't ever know what her judge is. Like, what's what's up? Anyway, so she talks about how she can help him deal with the stress or whatever you want to call it. The moms come home, the baby, then they're like, okay, well, where's our son? Where's Oz? He says, oh, they're across the street at the neighbor's house, and I just came in to get him a jacket. She's like, he's there by himself? You're like, yeah. So, of course, Allie runs over there frantic as hell, and he's in the back, with the new neighbors. They hauling, first of all, we saw them earlier, they were like hauling big tubs of who knows what. And she tried to go over there and be nosy, and the guy was like, can I help you? And she done ran off. So now she running back into their backyard, thinking that they doing something to their son. And she's like, oh, come over here. You never know. Those things may have stingers. We don't know if they're safe or whatever. And, the guy, they introduced themselves like, oh, this is, my wife and this, that, and the four. Bitch. And then, they said, oh, okay, well, my name is Allie. This is Ivy. This is my lovely but paranoid wife or whatever. Then this wife, oh my God, she couldn't have been more stereotypically ignorant Caucasian female. Like, that was so cringeworthy. Because she was like, oh, it's nothing more to increase property values than a lesbian couple. I'm sure one of you handy looks at Ivy like, and I'm sure it's probably you. Really? So we just gonna throw it out there. Just say, all stereotypes go. Like, are you? I'm like, ooh, the cringe. I hate when people do that. I hate it. I hate it so much. And then she says, do you want to go in for some lemonade? I need to be out the sun for a while or whatever. As soon as she comes inside, the first sentence that comes out her mouth, she was like, I can't even drink this anymore without thinking about Beyonce. I'm like, this wife has only been on screen for a solid 2 minutes, and she has already worn me into the ground. I see where you're gonna play. This season is very current. That's what we'll call it. Current. So as soon as they say that, we discover they just start spilling all their business. The guys, I forget what he starts talking about, and the wife is like, oh dear, your gay is showing. And Ivy's like, wait, you're gay? And he's like, yeah. And they're confused. The audience is kind of confused, like, what? And they say, oh, well, me and her made a pact. We've been best friends growing up, and we made a pact that if we're not married by 35, we'll just marry each other. And he's like, oh, yeah, every once a week he goes down to Detroit, does what he wants to do. The only rule is that he doesn't make me look stupid, and he takes his Truvada. And I'm like, and then he's like, well, and she doesn't really like to be touched anyway because of the cancer, so it just works out. I'm like, yo, y'all are oversharing. I wouldn't even know how to respond. I would not even know how to respond after they just told me, we just met, and you gonna tell me not only are you gay, you have cancer, I'm pretty sure the Truvada is an HIV medication, you'd have told me all your business. And it was not requested. They said, oh, we're really honest people. Like, and then I was looking at them crazy, if not already from all they said. Aren't y'all a little determined about moving into a house where a murder-suicide maybe happened a smooth week ago? And the blood stain is still on the floor, and they're just like, oh, well, we had bad credit, we couldn't find a house, and the owners were so quick to sell the house. I'm like, Something ain't right in this Kool-Aid. No, they freaking me out already. I just can't. And then when the guy's like, okay, you know what? Where's you gonna leave? And she's like, oh well, be sure to stop on by. We can chit chat. We can hang out. I watch all the Housewives, even Atlanta. I was like, okay, she's going too far with this role. she is just really putting it out there like this. Oh my god, Ryan Ryan Murphy. You just gonna go there with this? Okay, I see. This gonna be an interesting season to talk about. So they at the house. They're talking about the couple, and of course, Allie is like, I think they're weird. I don't know if I can do them. And while they talking, and the boy comes in talking about he can't sleep, she gets an alert, I guess, on her phone or whatnot that the security alarm has been tripped at the restaurant. And so initially Ivy was gonna go, but then Allie was like, I'll go. You can stay here with us because I think she feels like he feels more safe with her than Allie. I think so. She was like, you know what, I'll go. I'll probably just be an hour. And she's like, of course, if it looks like it's been broken into, don't go inside. The alarm code is Oz's birthday, this, that, and the fourth. Okay, fine, sure, whatever. She goes to the apartment, not the apartment, the restaurant. And first of all, she opens the door. It was already open, at least it looked like it was open. It didn't look like she did a key or anything like that. And she went in. Now, normally, I could be wrong because, I'm not an architect for, business design or whatever of, buildings or whatever. But it would seem to me, that the alarm system wouldn't be so far into the building. Like, she was walking all through, behind the kitchen, through a door, through a back wall, just to get to the alarm. And I'm like, I felt like this would be closer, but maybe if you're in a business that's public, you don't want people to just visually see, where your system is or stuff like that. Maybe that's the reason. That's what I'm gonna go with, because I just thought it was so strange that she's walking through all of this stuff. This alarm, like, where is this? Where is the thing at? Where's the little what's the thing called? The little outside beeper thing, whatever it's called. I can't think of the word right now. But yeah, I'm like, what's going on with that? So she finally turned the thing off, and then she notices something moving or something weird and funny going on in the freezer. Now, mind you, before this, there was a scene where I guess in the restaurant in the back, there's some dude, some Caucasian male who's being very, we'll just call it ignorant, and is like saying, oh, well, while the owners are gone or while such and such is gone, I'm the one that's in charge, blah, blah, blah. And I want y'all to know that we're only going to speak English in here, not none of that Spanish BS or something. He said something that was horribly offensive to Hispanics or whatever. And the guy says something to him in Spanish, and he's like, I will take this rail and ram it up your ass or something crazy like that. So Allie comes in, breaks everything up, and the guy's like, you better fire him. He's like, I'm not about to fire nobody. Like, especially given, all of the heat that just the Hispanic culture is getting right now. It may make the restaurant look bad for trying to fire a Hispanic employee. So the white guy goes over to him and said, you got lucky, bitch. I'm like, why? And the guy raises the knife at him and kind of, I guess that was like a threat or whatever. So fast forward back to homegirl doing the alarm. She goes in and I guess looks at there's like a pile of blood on the floor, and then she walks back into a body, and I'm like, wait, that body wasn't there before. Maybe I missed it or she missed it. I'm not sure. But she turns around and it's the dude that was doing all that ignorant stuff in the kitchen earlier hanging from his neck. But apparently he was still alive when she found him, because she goes to the police and they're trying to ask all these questions about, who or who would have the incentive to do this, and they're asking all these questions about Pedro, who was the other Mexican employee, and it's like, well, what do you know about him? And Ivy kept trying to say he didn't do it, like he didn't do this, and he's like, well, do you know like anybody else that may have motive? Because it seemed like from what you said, they had a interaction in the restaurant earlier or whatever, and he has motive. And like, are you familiar with his immigration status? I'm like, what does that have to do with anything going on? I was like, see, this is too accurate. It's way too accurate. So next thing we know, homegirl Allie goes to the neighbors because apparently he said he went and bought all these guns, and now she has a gun. I'm like, Lord, she's the last person that need a gun. I'm telling you. So now they fortifying the house, I guess, because they don't want, I guess, just to feel safer. And then lo and behold, crazy dude, even Peter's character with the blue hair, whom I hate right now and probably will hate continuing through the rest of this series, comes to the door and is like, oh, trying to keep this soft tone and stuff. And he keeps trying to invite himself in, like, can I use your bathroom? Can I use your phone? Can I talk to you about me running for whatever? And he just has this creepy tone about it. And he's just like, why are you answering the door with a knife? Like, why do you have your bar window? Like, he just tried to use this spiel, and it just sounded like it's hard to talk about this without getting political. That's crazy. That shows how good this is. But she was not about to let him in his house. He says some other crazy stuff too, where I'm just like, what the F? So next thing, the babysitter tries to tell, Allie that she needs to relax, and she's sitting there looking at her pills, and she's like, I'm supposed to take these pills to kind of mellow myself out, but they make me feel like foggy or whatever. And says, there's more than one ways to relax. And she tells her that she can run her like a bathtub. And then when she starts running the tub, she starts taking her shirt off. I'm like, why are you taking your shirt off? And then she's like, oh, well, I can take it from here. So she gets in the tub. She gets all comfortable. Next thing you know, Winter comes back and is like, see, I told you it was good. Like, isn't it good? She's like, bitch, you scared the hell out of me. And she's like, here, let me help you relax. She gets the thing, and she starts rubbing her back, and she's like, does that feel good? She's like, oh, it feels amazing. I'm like, really? Really? Of all people, do you gonna do the babysitter? Really? And for a second there, it looked like she didn't, because at first we saw her hand like, stroking water or a loofah or whatever that was, sponge on her back. I swear by the time that she was doing all that for about a good 30 seconds, I swear she moved to the front and was doing a little of this. She was DJing Allie for a second, I swear. And she was like, what did she say? I can't remember what she said, but she was basically like, I won't tell your wife that you didn't take the pills. And she tried to kiss her. And I'm like, what is going on? Why? Where this came out of nowhere? I don't know about that. So as they're about to lock lips, the lights go out, and as the lights go out, Oz is in sleep. Is in sleep in his bed, sleep, and he wakes up and sees this crazy clown walk across his bedroom, and he's like, "Wait, am I asleep?" The clown's like, "You're asleep." He's like, "All right," goes back to bed. And he closed the door. I'm like, as a viewer, I don't even know if that's real or not. Because that could happen in a dream. And then also an actual killer clown would take advantage of the fact that a kid doesn't believe that he's really there. So I don't even know what to believe or not. So now Homegirl starts seeing clowns everywhere. And tries to, like the guy across the street, the neighbor man, tries to come and say, hey, like, there's like a nationwide, what do you call it? Like a power outage in like 8 different cities across the country, or 80 cities or something like that. It was something large. I remember that. And then He's like, here's, some candles. Here's some things to keep you safe. Make sure you stay indoors. There's going to be rioters and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And so she's freaking out. And now Winter is like, well, if there's rioters, I need to get home because I have laptops, I have iPhones, I have other stuff that I just need to go get. And Allie's like, no, please don't leave. They said stay inside, stay inside. She's like, girl, fuck you. I'm going home and getting my stuff. And she's like, well, what about the man say? He's like, it's not always about you. Now, mind you, just 3 minutes ago, you was about this. You was sitting here doing this to her, and all of a sudden, you just want to leave her. I guess. So now she's freaking out. Now she's by herself with Oz, and she goes and she grabs him. She's like, Oz, wake up, we're about to leave. So she gets in front of the door, and it's like, we are about to book it across the street to the neighbor's house because apparently they're more resourceful than we are right now. So all I want you to do is just never let go of my hand, okay? She done got her gun. Now, mind you, before we talk about what happens after that, she tried to call Ivy about what's going on about the lights being out, and she's like, well, I can't really leave right now. I can't really help you right here, right now. I think that's what she said in some, small aspect. And Ivy is there with Pedro. Pedro talks about how the police tried to come and question him or whatever. And she's like, would you mind, taking these batteries to charge her phone because the phone died? And would you take her all these candles and stuff? So she done sent Pedro to the house. Fast forward back to where we were at, where she's crazy and she's talking to the son, like, please don't let me go. They're about to book it across the street. She has her gun and she opens the door. And of course, her crazy self just sees a human figure. Probably thinks it's a clown. I kind of did too for a second. So she pulls out her gun. Boom. It was Pedro just coming to bring her some batteries and some candles. Now Pedro dead. Boy, that's a shame. Pedro was so innocent. That's a shame. My God. This show is good. This show is so good. I'm loving it. So that was the episode, you guys. Let me know what y'all think. Please let me know what y'all think. Because I need to talk about this with somebody. It's so good. And, But anyways, drop the comments. Let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I hope you decide to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, I want you guys to click that little bell because YouTube is bugging right now with subscription boxes. So if you click the bell, it'll notify you each time that I upload a new video. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington, Washington.